The NBA offseason has officially begun. While the playoffs are still going on, 26 clubs are already planning for next season by signing free agents and making trades. The 2021 NBA free agent class was viewed as potentially historic prior to last offseason. It was thought that LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, and Jrue Holiday would be available. Instead, they all extended their contracts with their current organizations, significantly lowering the star power in this class. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new NBA trade rumors that will change the game in 2022. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. New NBA trade rumors that will change the NBA in 2022. Knicks and Wizards. RJ Barrett is likely to be at the center of any trade conversations the Knicks have with other clubs about superstar players. The Wizards got their guy in this transaction. Barrett provides Washington with a solid foundation on which to rebuild. During his sophomore season, he made significant progress, improving his stats across the board. His shooting improved the most as he made 44.1% of his shots, 40.1% of his three-pointers, and 74.6% of his free throws compared to 40.2, 32.0, and 61.4% as a rookie. Barrett's ability to shoot as well from the three-point line as he did from anywhere on the field as a rookie reflects the amount of work he's putting in during the offseason to improve his shot. Obi Toppin and Kevin Knox are also good additions to the Wizards' front court. Barrett's presence reduces the draft compensation as he's worth multiple first-round picks on his own. 3 first-round picks, however, is a good haul for Washington. New York gets Chandler Hutchison back in this transaction, giving them some wing depth after spending so much of their budget on Beal. Dallas Mavericks looking to trade Kristaps Porzingis. For the second consecutive NBA season, the Dallas Mavericks were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Los Angeles Clippers. Rick Carlisle chose to lead the franchise amid reports of a power struggle in Dallas, and the Mavericks have subsequently replaced Carlisle with Jason Kidd, a former player with the franchise who's familiar with the organization. Following the hiring of their new head coach, the team's next task is to trade Kristaps Porzingis. Dallas is anticipated to move on Porzingis due to his deteriorating play and injury concerns in previous years. The Boston Celtics have been mentioned as a possible landing point for Porzingis ever since it became known that he might be on his way out of Dallas. The majority of fans imagined the Celtics landing Kemba Walker to the Mavericks in exchange for the Latvian power forwards. Despite the fact that Walker's been moved to the Oklahoma City Thunder, Porzingis might yet end up with the Celtics. For Boston, acquiring Porzingis would provide him with their finest rim protector in a long time. In Ime Udoka's first year as head coach, a starting lineup featuring Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, and Al Horford wouldn't be bad. DeAndre Ayton, Phoenix Suns. Phoenix has struggled to find success in recent years, but after a strong finish to the season and some significant offseason additions, the Suns appear to be a legitimate Western Conference playoff team. The Suns would end a 10-year playoff drought, the longest in franchise history, if they made the playoffs. Will DeAndre Ayton, on the other hand, be a part of it? The Suns management went out and pulled in another big game star to combine with Devin Booker after witnessing this team come together in the NBA bubble last season, and Devin Booker proving that he is an all-star talent. This offseason, the Suns were able to trade for Chris Paul, a potential Hall of Fame point guard. This season as well, DeAndre Ayton is averaging 12.9 points, 11.7 rebounds, 1 point block, and shooting 55.8% from the field in around 30.6 minutes per game for the Suns. That isn't good enough for the former first-round choice, and he might be dealt with if he doesn't break out of his depression and resume his role as the big dominant man he was last season. DeAndre Ayton must step up and become one of the best centers in the NBA if Phoenix wants to be a legitimate Western Conference playoff club. If he fails to do so, teams with legitimate all-star centers such as the Lakers and Jazz will take the Suns apart. Chris Paul and Devin Booker may do anything they want on the court, but their prospects of being legit are minimal unless DeAndre Ayton shows up and produces. If Ayton's struggles continue, the Phoenix Suns may attempt to trade him for 2 or 3 crucial role players who can contribute right now, as well as draft picks. Nikola Vucevic, Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic have been trying to rebuild this squad into a legitimate Eastern Conference contender since trading away Dwight Howard ahead of the 2012-13 NBA season, but have had little success over the years. Since choosing Howard first overall in 2004, the Magic have had 0 players go on to be All-Stars and have had 0 success year after year, while Nikola Vucevic has only received 1 nomination. Sure, they've made the playoffs in the previous 2 years, but they've been significant underdogs in each matchup and have fallen in the first round 4-1 in back-to-back years. With serious injury concerns and a general lack of skill on his team, the Orlando Magic are at a crossroads and could be forced into yet another rebuild, selling Nikola Vucevic. Orlando is now 6-8 after opening the season 4-0 and is dealing with a number of severe injuries. They are without Jonathan Isaac for the season as he recovers from a torn ACL, but they're also without Markelle Fultz for the season as he tore his ACL, and youngster Chuma Okeke, who is projected to miss several more games. Nikola Vucevic's value is at an all-time high right now, and the Magic could try to deal their star big man for a large haul of draft selections and young talent because he's 30 years old. The Magic are now unable to recruit high-profile free agents, and even at full strength, are not a serious competitor in the Eastern Conference. The Magic must make a difficult decision about some of its experienced players, namely Nikola Vucevic, who is under contract through the 22-23 season. Is it really worth it for the Magic to give him this much money and keep him on the roster when they have little chance of winning? A Ben Simmons trade? The Philadelphia 76ers All-Star Game is being discussed. Sources tell ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski that a meeting between Simmons' agency, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, and Sixers management took place in Chicago this week. Paul approached the Sixers about working together to find a trade before the start of next season, but no request was made, and the sides are expected to continue talking ahead of the NBA draft on July 29th and free agency in August, according to sources. According to reports, the 76ers are determined to maintain Simmons as a key member of their team. Chris Middleton and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks did everything they could this offseason to urge Giannis to stay after failing to reach the Eastern Conference Finals last season, losing 4-1 to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference semifinals. It eventually paid off as Antetokounmpo and the Bucks agreed to a 5-year, $228 million Supermax deal extension that will keep Giannis in a Bucks shirt through the 2024-25 season, with a $51 million player option for the 25-26 season that will be difficult for Giannis to turn down. They made their hero into the highest paid player in NBA history, and they're betting big on him to win several titles. The Bucks will undoubtedly be on one of the top 3 seeds in the Eastern Conference come playoff time, with a strong chance of reaching their first NBA Finals since 1974 when they were led by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But if they fall short once again, Chris Middleton, along with head coach Mike Budenholzer, could be held responsible. Any trade involving Chris Middleton would have to wait until next offseason, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that he might start the 2021-22 NBA season in a new uniform. He's been an All-Star for 2 years in a row, and he's putting up better stats than he did in the previous 2 years. Chris Middleton's value will be at an all-time high, allowing the Bucks to not only recoup some of the draft picks they don't have, but also free up financial room to add another great player to complement Giannis Antetokounmpo, Spencer Dinwiddie. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Brooklyn Nets guard Spencer Dinwiddie wants to refuse the $12.3 million player option on his 2021-22 deal and become an unrestricted free agent before the Monday deadline. Dinwiddie, 28, was out for the majority of the 2020-21 season due to an ACL tear in his right knee. And there you have it, everything you need to know about some of the new NBA trade rumors that have been swirling around. Who do you want to see switch teams? Make sure to let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.